Hello, Papercut here, doing a replay review of JMC Dono 4 and his teammate. JMC's playing French, his teammate's playing Abbasid. He asked for someone to look at this game and give him and his teammate tips. In case you don't know, I do replay reviews of people's games just to give them advice and helpful tips. I feel like watching the game and getting the advice helps a lot. I also do coaching. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, feel free to message me on Discord. Link will be in the description below. And lastly, I am doing a content series on how to get better at the game, so feel free to check that out on my account. But let's check out this game. It's a 2v2, and let's see how it rolls. So, of course, opening is always really important, but also when you're playing team games, having a plan up front is vital. You're playing against the Chinese, you're playing against the French. You are French, and you have an Abbasid player. So I hope your plan is you pressure, your Abbasid player gets 2 to 3 TCs, booms up, and you guys are probably fighting in castle when your Abbasid teammate hits kind of a power spike in castle. You could also do some sort of Abbasid trade that you cover while he sets up a trade route and really gets a trade going. But I hope you need to have some sort of plan. What are you guys trying to do? When are you trying to win the game? And also considering the opponent. Your opponent being French and Chinese means that the French player will probably be aggressive while the Chinese player is booming. So depending on who's facing who, for example, if your teammate is the Abbasid is across from the French player, he's probably going to get pushed by the French. I do like this opening going straight for deer. The gather rates are really, really good. You got deer right next to the mill, which is really nice. Abbasid player goes straight for the fish, which is great. Cool. So now we need to see who's across from who. So your Abbasid friend is across from the French player. You are across from the Chinese. Your goal as the French player would be, of course, to either slow the Chinese boom or help defend your Abbasid teammate while he booms. Just depending on what you guys decide to do. The question is, are you going to get up at the right amount of time? So here's what this is telling me. You notice how you hit gold before you hit your food amount. You put too much on gold. 6 on gold is a lot on gold. You should have done 3 to 4 on gold, and then done 8 to 9 on food. Especially if you go out on the deer, you will get more over time, but it does slow you down the front end as they kill the deer, get started, things like that. So it would have been okay to go 9 on food, 4 on gold, and then start sending to wood, or start gathering wood, or if you're going to 2TC, start going to the stove. Your teammate has a really optimal build order. It immediately goes in the economic wing, so I assume he's going to go 2TC. Like the scouting pattern back here, you really want to see where your opponent's resources are. You need to predict where's your opponent going to go. These watering holes are going to be huge. And you want to potentially predict second TC spots. This boar back here is beautiful for you. Okay, we're up. I have to check how many you aged up with, but so 8 on food, 6 on gold, and now you're going to wood. This looks like you're going mass knights. Fine in a team game. Your teammate's getting the upgrades. He's on 7 on food, 4. So if he's going to go 2TC, this is too many on food. I don't think he's going 2TC. Are you both doing 1TC feudal pressure? Cheike wall. Cheike. So I guess my question is, why go 1TC feudal pressure but do economic wing? You do economic wing if you want to go 2TC. If you want to straight up fight it out, he should have just gone military wing. Because one, he's been had. He has no defenses here. You go to poke the French player, which is fine. He can defend himself against a French player, but he needs to already have up a barracks. Or if he goes military wing, he has the spearmen to defend the units up here. Because here's what happened. His opening, too much gold. Look at this. He has 250 gold. He has nothing to spend it on. The second he got the gold for his initial upgrades, he needed to be focused completely on wood so he can get up a barracks. And then once he gets a spearman, he can get back on the gold. 1, 2. Nice. Get out of there. Oh, 3. Oh. That was pretty sick. That was pretty sick. Very nice. And now he's going second TC. See, the thing with Abbasid is that you want an optimal TC timing. You want to get your second TC as fast as possible. So your teammate needed to, the second he got into age 2 and he got Fertile Crescent, you don't even need to get the villager upgrade at first, because you really want that when you actually go into a second TC. That's when it really pays off. So you should be, to maximize his TC timing here, he should go straight into Fertile Crescent. He needs to pull his units off gold once he has enough for the Fertile Crescent, go on to stone, and then you should only have 4 on food, and he should just be sticking on the TC, right? Like, he doesn't need to risk his food villager, so keep 4 on sheep here, 4 on food, and then he's splitting evenly between wood and stone, because a good Absent player would already have that second TC up, which is where the military school really helps. If he goes military school, he has the ability to defend his second TC. If not, if he wants to go very aggressive second TC, you just sending 2 knights over would allow him to get a second TC up really quickly, and then he can move from there. But this late second TC timing, see, look, he just lost 2 villagers because he was too aggressive on his food gathering. You can't go out on the map until you're sure you can defend yourself. And I bet right now, and here's the thing, last thing, you have the opposing player doing this by himself. I bet his Chinese teammate, is he going second TC? He's not, which is interesting. But he is potentially going fast castle. He's 8 on wood, 9 on wood. He might be potentially going fast castle, but he's kind of doing whatever he wants as the Chinese without being bothered, which is dangerous. If you're going to do a outpost in the direction you need to protect from. So like more on like this frontal side of the stone. It's small, but it matters. Because he can walk archers up here and shoot these villagers pretty easily. See, as an Absent player should really have that second TC up by now. Because the slower it takes the second TC up, the more you're not using the advantage of the Absent. So do you know you're sending villagers forward? That'd be bad. But let's look at what you're doing right now. 15 on food, 6 on gold, so you're going heavy, you're going like all night. So the problem is, you only have School of Cavalry. You need to have a second stable down by now. And going early farms like this is a waste of wood. This wood should be a second stable, or should be archers. You have so many resources around you. You have all these ponds. You have the boar back here. Like, you should not be doing farms. Farms are a waste of food for you, and they're slow. Farms are slow gather rate early on without any of the economic upgrades. You don't have a mill down, so I know you don't have any economic upgrades. Oh no, yeah you do, but you don't have any. So a wheelbarrow would be huge here. You also need a barracks to be upgrading your knights. My point being is that you putting down farms is slowing you down when you have all these great food resources, and you might be afraid of getting sniped. But what you saw is the teal player is all up on your teammate right now. Don't be worried about that. If you aren't really worried about it, have your units actually tower as they go out for resources. Don't do it. These towers aren't doing much, honestly. This one is, but this one isn't. But yeah, you should be using the resources, because those resources will get you way more food. You're losing the food race right now. Like, watch, I bet. Yeah, you have the worst income per... Well, your teammate has the worst income per minute, but... The teal player actually... Oh, well, actually... I might be wrong here. What's the teal player doing? See, look, he's out over here on... Oh, well... Once he gets off berries and does his fish and deer, he's way out producing you here. Why go to a different gold? This is confusing to me. Anyway. But yeah, and also, secondly, your teammate here is doing a scared TC. He has to. He has knights everywhere. He has no units to defend himself. This TC needs to go on vital resources. It needs to go on something that it can defend. A second TC is like a really big tower. You want to use it to secure resources. So, for example, a second TC here. Oh, look at this. You got fish. You got wood. You got gold and stone. You could do it here. Berries, deer, fish, wood. But you can't because he's not defended. Why is he not defended? Because he never got a barracks down. Why did he never get a barracks down? Because he didn't allocate his villagers. So you see how separating your villagers early on really matters downstream to what you're able to do. Since he did not have any way to defend himself, he had to do a very weak second TC, which isn't securing him more resources. Since you didn't go over and defend your teammate, he has this weak second TC. It's not getting the value that it should. What's this Chinese player doing? Chinese players are going to start pumping out spears, I guess. Here's the thing that would suck. A good Chinese player would have a second TC right now and would just be booming. Booming. And he's not, though. He's going to hit castle soon, though, which is going to not be good. And look at this wasted wood on protecting this deer pack isn't getting him anything. It is now, but he could still get pushed. And now he has just knights ripping apart villagers. Where's the barracks? Your teammate needed to get a barracks down. He needs spearmen. A couple spearmen, stop this. And I'm doing 3rd TC, still with no units. At least you're killing villagers up here. This is good. Like, at least you are as well doing damage on teal. But your opponent hits castle. Okay, now he's just going heavy on wood. There's the 3rd town center. See, this still doesn't protect anything. It protects this gold, but that's it. Okay, now you want food. So what you did was good. You harassed him enough to pull him back, but now you're going to be having palace guards running into your base right here. But here's the thing. Palace guard on their own aren't a big deal. Your castle knights, your feudal knights can beat castle palace guards. But hardened spearmen, with T-Thos and spearmen, that's going to be a problem. And now he's just running wild in your eco. Do not overchase. 3 knights chasing 1 royal knight? No. 2 royal knights to 1 royal knight? Yes. Here's the thing. You're doing work on teal, but purple has got free reign to just like move palace guards into your base. And now your desperation making more farms. And you need to be going castle. Yeah, he can now non-stop produce palace guards. There's nothing stopping him. In fact, he should have... Really, he should have, like, 4 barracks down. You have a lot of knights, which is great. If you wouldn't just push purple right now, you'd actually do a lot of damage. Your teammate still has no production down. Nothing. He's in feudal. He's throwing up all these walls. And he can't defend himself. So now you guys are in catch-up mode. You need to go... Really need to get castle. Your buddy needs to now carry you a bit while you go castle. And you do need a second TC, basically. Not really. Your opponent... You really need to scout what your opponent's doing to know what purple's doing, but you don't really need to go second TC. You could stick 1 and be fine right now. But you need to actually take... What you need to do is you need to take 3 knights and go harass purple's eco to keep him in his base. And then you're still harassing teal, which is great. But then you keep the rest knights back to defend, and now you stop making units and you have to get the castle right now. You have 8 on food right now. You have 14 on gold. Uh-oh. Okay, so your teammate just hit castle, but he is a castle with no production. Now he's just putting down production. And you're lucky, teal let him wall up like this. And admittedly, he could wall up because you let him, but purple had the ability to just mass up for nothing. And now this is where the GG starts, basically. Your boy needs to get out like 20 gulams right now. A little too late here. Homeboy sends you 400 wood. You're building a second TC in his base. You did the great escape over here, I see. Okay. Now the thing is, once that happens, your knights become literally more important than anything in the world. You had to protect your knights. They had to live just to be annoying, basically. And now your guy's playing 2-on-1, which can work until your opponent's eco catches up to him. It's basically GG here, though. You did a lot here. Here's the thing I'll give to you. You did a lot of damage on teal. Let's actually look at the numbers here. Your guy is 90. You have 23. Heals 35. Purple is 58. So you did a lot of economic damage, actually. A really good amount. But the problem is you didn't do enough damage to make up for purple's just freedom to boom on 1TC. 1TC song. Like, he just got free reign to do whatever he wanted. And now his mass is a mass. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. So let's talk about... So I did a lot of rambling. Let's kind of put a nice bow on this to understand what needs to happen next time. Overall... Oh, crap. Was the music loud this whole time? I hope not. Overall, what I saw was a lack of coherent plan and responding to what your opponent's doing. Here's what I mean by this. If your plans to go second TC, you, as the aggressive civ, need to make sure your teammate can get that second TC or third TC as fast as possible. How do you do that? Well, you need to harass the boom civ on the opposing team, and your teammate needs to defend himself. Because here's what happened. You try to defend your teammate. Teal did enough damage to slow your teammate down. And his teammate, Purple, had nothing happen to him at all. Nothing. And Purple being able to hit Castle, mass up, and push is what won the game. Because your opponent's plan was better. Your opponent's plan is pretty simple. He forced you to defend your teammate by attacking, and your teammate didn't do anything to defend himself. The big change I would say is your teammate either needs to go military wing to get the initial defense or go barracks before he goes second, third TC and just get out Spearman. Get out Spearman, he's fine. He defends himself, he's fine. So heavy on wood early on. You need to macro the villagers early on to meet that game plan. So your game plan is go quick 2 TC, second you hit castle, your villagers split between wood and stone. You have 5 or 6 on food so that when you get a barracks down, you can get 3 or 4 spearmen. Then you're just getting those TCs. And that spearman allows you to get TCs that provide you protection and economic benefit, putting those TCs on good resources. That would have freed up you to then go harass the opponent that's booming, so the Chinese player, and actually slow him down so that your player can outboom. And maybe if your harass was good enough, Teal would have had to go over and defend his teammate, China, because China didn't make a single production building until Castle. That's all I got. Tighten up your openings, have a coherent plan, and make sure you're making units to defend yourselves to then reach that point of your power spike, which would have been Castle. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know. And good luck on your games.